Men, women, children, all barred from entry. A damn travesty. A decade ago, Baldur's Gate would have welcomed any and everyone seeking refuge. Who would take in these souls, if not the Jewel of Baldurin? As long as Gortash is in charge, they'll be left shivering at the gates. All part of the plan, of course. Step 1. Create an army and order it to march on the city. Step 2. Shut the gates in the name of security. Step 3. Bask in the applause. Gortash hasn't made Baldur's Gate safe. He's made it a prison. And when his army breaks through, the people will have nowhere to run. To make this city a safe haven, we'll need to bathe Gortash and his allies in their own blood. I met her twice. The first time, I was a boy of 7 or 8, at a banquet in the Flaming Fist's honor. One look and I was smitten. Chestnut hair that flowed behind her like willow fronds, as she floated from one room to the next as if carried by clouds. The second time, Stelmane was different. Even with the aid of a cane, each step she took was a struggle. Every word she spoke took great physical effort. A stroke victim? I asked father later. No, he said. A stroke survivor.
You sense uncertainty in Will's voice. He questions his father's explanation.
Something's always gnawed at me. At the banquet, Stelmane didn't seem to look at us, but through us. But that second time, her gaze never left me. It was steel, sharp and unyielding. It could just be my imagination, but I always felt that it was more than a stroke that had changed her. What, though? I couldn't say. I couldn't say. But think about this. My father was Tadpole. Stelmane is dead. The people are frightened and the council's in disarray. To exert control, he must first sow chaos. A tyrant's strategy, as father would say. These murders aren't random acts. Someone powerful is guiding the killer's hand, and the city is made weaker for it.
Hear me out. Do that! Caress is caress. Also has roots.
Staying in a brothel.
Listen, it's got private rooms, music, and all-round pleasant folks, from what I've heard.
And if a patron confuses me for a member of staff,
I'd probably break his nose. Good boy.
looking for lodgings? Don't bother. All the decent places are gone. Damned coronation. Why does Bronze Crossing have so few lodgings? We need at least a dozen.
How about the flop?
I found so
It has
many
plenty of
for
spare.
cousins away.
Great! We can
They're the
bunk
kind
a
of
ton of
people no one would
and
ever
pray none
miss.
of them have sticky fingers. You'd be better off sleeping in the gutter than that generosity.
sir. Good, sir. Give me 3 days and... Oh, apologies. Thought you were someone else. Greetings, so forth, so on. The landlord, Sir Frago Antuna. A most generous soul, I assure you. Fionn, one of Mamselle's girls, who laughs like a star's twinkle. Not seen her for a 10-day. 10 days and 4 bells to be precise. Not that I'm counting. Missing? I hadn't thought her missing, just not here. Or elsewhere. Oh, I suppose that's like missing, but with extra words. You don't suppose the murderer who's on the loose got hold of her? Oh, goodness, no. It's too horrible to imagine.
It has plenty of spare beds.
Bloomin' hell, you look famished. I've got some victuals that'll warm you right up. Fionn. Poor lass. Works her arse off for the mumselle, but don't get much in return. Not seen her mug for a carp's age. I figured she'd gone up the road while the going was good. Killer on the loose, cult army marching wee way. Been thinking I might scarp her too. Have a skeg at these. That should do ya.
Come to Baldur's Gate, he said. Adventurers get welcomed as heroes, he said. Poxy Drim and his bleeding notions.
Listen.
I think the master plans to expand his Candlekeep. Maybe even Arm.
Oh, I'm sure he has plans, but I wouldn't dare guess at them.
Keep a blade close.
Haven't we lingered long enough? We should return for the ceremony.
We have time.
No one stopped me yet.
The runaway is still missing after all. Nothing happened.
That's a friendly-looking shadow.
Just think, soon we'll feel the sun on our skin. After all this time.
They can turn into mist now.
Soon we'll feel the sun on our skin. After all this time.
That shapeshifter's key unlocked the door. Interesting.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Still breathing, despite everything. A list of names. Father Lorgan's on here. Crossed off. A target list, perhaps. Blood near the bed.
You notice some blood has pooled on the wooden floor. The blood seems to have dried out over the course of a few days. You can't make out where it comes from.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
You notice some blood has pooled on the wooden floor. You notice the blood's source, a body hidden under the bed.
Still alive, so that's progress.
corpse regards you lifelessly.
Murdered by my son.
It's to be expected. Some families just don't get along.
Baldur. Found his secret. My sweet boy. Why? Killed folk slowly. He liked it.
The corpse remains silent. It does not know. The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
You're exhausted. You've been pulling all-nighters to keep watch. I know you have.
I don't.
In the gutter, then that den of iniquity.
Pleasure isn't just physical, it's a state of mind. It doesn't make any sense.
Your pleasure is mine, sweeting. Murdered! Ye gods, the poor thing! Oh, by the mother of cats, I pray she didn't suffer. I'll miss that face. Else, the regulars will miss her more. They swarmed her like honeybees at the hive. Oh. Losing Fionn slashed a big hole in my coin purse. I should get to replacing her.
two men bark softly to each other. A single name reaches your ears. Nine Fingers. It's a name you know. Nine Fingers is the head of the Guild, a criminal organization operating inside Baldur's Gate.
You rats with the guild now? Nine Fingers met her match.
The new kingpin? All meat and muscle, that one. And wild as a werebear. If he's looking to oust Nine Fingers, my blade's got his back.
Sounds messy as the ninth hell. Must be why she called us to help.
Is that right? The way I heard it, you Zent cut a deal with the new... Hold on. You there! Getting up in our affairs? Look, this subject's not safe. You selling your services, beat feet to the Guildhall. Lower City, Basilisk Gate, Guildhall. And that's all you're getting from me. Now scram! The chat's officially closed.
I want to give it a good rumple. That blacksmith was paying to use the clamping device.
Another case closed, another bottle open. Huzzah to Valeria! Hang on a tick. I recognize that face. You were talking to Yanis after I left the temple. I'll bet she's put you up to something. Why must you busybodies insist on interrupting a perfectly good night? I know that look. You remind me of Devella. Fine. If you doubt my conclusions, out with it. What have you found? That's quite the discovery. Doesn't tell me everything, though. Why was Lorgan killed? Really? You as well? Devella's been harping on about Baal for months. Fancies herself something of an expert. I assumed it was just a bunch of conspiracy codswallop and fear-mongering. But she's been unusually insistent about this one, even for her. Fine. I'll bite. What's your theory? No need to wave documents at me. I'm already drowning in paperwork as it is. Constable Devella is going to be a real pain in the trunk about this. Since you seem to be on an obnoxiously similar wavelength, why don't you seek her out? She'll be at the Elf Song Tavern. Show her the list, and I'll stay and inform the Fist here. Oh, and you'll need this pass. It'll give you access to the lower city. Well, what are you waiting for? You've a bloody conspiracy to solve. Move!
key to my heart in that.
A scant few customers today.
I put it on especially for you.
Don't take it off later. I want to give it a good rumple.
That seems like a lot.
Exactly. Pleasure isn't just physical.
I mean, to try.
He will when you've met him.
Strength.
Devil's Den.
You must hear me, devil. I will do whatever it takes, give you anything you ask.
There is only one thing in this world that I desire. You do not have it, and you never will.
You must help me, Raphael, for the sake of my people.
Hush now, Voss. These guests may not know it yet, but they want the same thing that you do. And unlike you, they have something of value to offer in return.
Whatever you discuss with this devil, I must hear of it. Find me below in the tap room, once you're loosed from his claws.
I'm glad you came. Not to my door, not yet, but to the final reckoning. One more thing before we begin, though.
For the first time since the Nautiloid, your mind is clear. It's unsettling.
Wouldn't that be exquisite? But no. I'm afraid the tadpole is still there. But I did shut out your other visitor for a while, so we can enjoy some privacy. The Illithid can't hear us.
Huh. What's the catch?
I brought you here because I'm true to my word, and I can make all of this tadpole business go away, which means you and your lovely friends can remain blessedly free of tentacles. Let us speak plain. I'll admit, you've impressed me. I wasn't sure you'd make it this far, but no matter how far you come, you're still on the road to ruin. A road that leads directly to a confrontation with the Elder Brain. At best, it will kill you and everyone else in this city. At worst, it will assimilate you, and you won't have enough free will left to even wish you were dead. You have the key to destroying it in the palm of your hand, though. In a manner of speaking. But it's the one inside the prison that you need, not the Illithid, the Gith. I can give you the means to break him free. The Orphic Hammer. An artifact capable of shattering the chains that hold Prince Orpheus is held securely in my House of Hope, even now. Such an eager little pup. Surely you realize there is an exchange to be made. You scratch my back, I scratch your parasite.
There it is. Of course.
Power. You free Orpheus, and in doing so save the city, the Sword Coast, perhaps the whole world, and your own precious skin too. And you give me the crown that dominates the Elder Brain. I have craved it ever since the arch-wizard Carsus created it, long centuries ago, and brought doom to the Empire of Netheril. That was the great age of humanity, and Netheril's flying sky cities were the apex of civilization. I was there the day it all fell apart. Entire cities plummeted from the sky like angels with broken wings. The screams, oh, the screams. Hundreds of thousands of people watching in horror as the ground came up to meet them. It was not a happy meeting, and Carsus was responsible. Not driven by malice, but by ambition. He forged a crown imbued with all the powers of magic. A crown that would make any who wore it a god. Men cannot contain so much power. The crown destroyed its creator, and his empire fell with him. Carsus's folly, the bards and scholars call it. I call it hope. The hope of creating a better world, and the perils of unchecked hubris. I knew then that the folly of mortals could be the triumph of devils, and that I could use that crown to unite the Nine under one Archdevil Supreme. Me.
Zariel wouldn't like that much. But even I'm not so desperate to spite her I'd put the hells in this bastard's hands.
The hells require order to function. It is what separates us from mortals and demons. With the crown, I would impose perfect order, unity, efficiency, control. My kingdom would control its borders and stay within them. Hidden. The archdevil Mephistopheles snatched up the crown and squirreled it away in one of his vaults. He is not more than a frigid archivist. So much power and potential kept inert. He made a miracle into a museum piece. I raged. But only for a decade or so. Then I waited, ever watching for more than 1,000 years, for a mistake, a mishap, a misadventure. And these chosen, who have caused you so much trouble accidentally, did me a favor. They brought the crown back into play. Yes, it does. Especially when I see what a bloody mess they've made of their whole scheme. They must have raided Mephistopheles' vault. Impressive, I must admit. But they'll be dead soon. If you don't kill them, the Elder Brain will. It doesn't have feelings in the way you'd understand them. But it seems rather angry. It is inevitable. When you destroy the brain, and you will because you must, the crown will be yours for the taking. And when that moment comes, you give the crown to me. In exchange, I give you the hammer now.
A simple transaction, it seems, but it's more than that. He's offering you an alternative to the mind flayer in your head. Take Raphael's deal and you could free Orpheus. With Orpheus free, you would have no need to rely on the Emperor. But there's no guarantee that Orpheus would be on your side. And if you take the deal, you'll have to fulfill it. You'll have to deliver the crown of Carsus to the devil himself. He claims his ambition is to unite the Hells, but can he be trusted to stop there? Do you trust him more than you trust the Emperor?
I won't stop you. But time is running out. So don't stay away for long. If you see reason, I'll be here, waiting. Right up to the moment the world ends.
There you are. I thought I'd lost you. Something was blocking me from hearing your thoughts. Raphael. Well, thank you for your honesty. Of course, I should have known the devil would come sniffing. The stench of impending chaos is irresistible to them. And what did he want with you? How very gumptious of him. What were the terms of this deal? Tell me, you turned him down. Good. I am glad. But be careful. The devil is like a cockroach. No matter what you do to it, it will always come back. I doubt this will be the last time you are approached. I trust that you will continue to remember who is really on your side. Without my protection, you cannot defeat the Elder Brain. You cannot even get close to it, no matter what the devil whispers in your ear.
Give me strength. You two have rocks for brains. What were you thinking?
Ah, here. You haven't even got inside yet.
I am not going inside.
Brothel? Pleasure house? Den of decadent delights? Forget your words. Shh,
shh. It's so loud.